Before we begin, you either resonate with us or you don't. Now, the intention, the goal, to wake up every day and outwork you, to move faster than you, accumulate more momentum than you, and compound that to further improve our existence that we only get once, to understand and to know more than you, to be and become more than you, to have more, to own more, to expand in every area where you contract and retract and distract yourself from fixing and repairing, to continuously and always make the right choice, to neglect the temptation of being less, to always move forward in life and to never take a step backwards nor look behind us, to leave the past in the past, to leave what is damaged and vanquished, to incinerate the weakness, and to move forward, marching with power with every step to empower ourselves to positions you couldn't even comprehend being in, to be more tactical, to be more intelligent, to be more tactful, to have a bigger impact, to inspire more. You have to understand that you only live once, and the potential within you is so vast. You have a reservoir of untapped power that you leave dormant. And every second you waste not tapping into that potential is the potential we're going to demonstrate in front of you like it's nothing. To make the impossible seem possible while making it look easy and executing it with precision and being flawless with every move. To become the higher self and to become the embodiment of absolute imperium, to move through life with an imperialistic will, to have so much willpower that we are imperium. Now, few will resonate because few don't see themselves in the light they should. They see themselves from the reflection of their reality, which is grim and hopeless. But to become the best you can ever be, to move forward even though you don't feel like it, to push that boundary, to maximize that energy expenditure every day, to hit that 3 a.m. wake up. When we were at the 24-hour gym, to hit that 3:45 a.m. workout, to demonstrate self-love through action, to dedicate ourselves to taking steps of gratitude through action, not to speak it, but to actually be it, not just to talk, but to walk. Not just to pretend, but to actually be and become more as we continue moving forward in the quantum continuum, to ensure that the goals we have in our life are accomplished and nothing is going to be left undone, to go through life with absolute gratitude and to not have any regret when we hit that fucking casket. Most of you are so stuck in this loop of regret consciousness. Every time you indulge in that pleasure, that temptation, you want to quit. The drink, the smoke, the weed, the porn, the list, it's infinite. And if you're not going to look in the mirror and confront that individual who's actively destroying himself, you have to understand that you're passively killing yourself, and every action has a motivation, and the definition of motivation is a reason to do something. So every time you put your time and energy into that addiction, remember that you have a reason within you to motivate you to take that action, and that action is a reflection of the motivation for you wanting to kill yourself passively. Confront that bitch in the mirror, or you're going to remain a low-level piece of shit in the one life you get. Now, to be ungrateful for the life that you take for granted every day, to sit there and complain instead of fix the fucking problem, while you complain, we were taking steps every day. To complain about a problem, you should be taking pleasure in solving it. Every time the problem decimates you, we create ourselves in a higher version to create a solution for that problem. You can't fix a problem if you're complaining about it. You can fix a problem when you shut the fuck up and start getting shit done with your life. So many people just neglect the responsibility to respond with efficiency and intelligence, to actually use their fucking intellect, to use their mind to correspond to higher outcomes, to instead of be a pretentious piece of shit, to actually understand that the work you put into yourself is what you're worth. So when you induce high amounts of imperialistic willpower through the daily habits that you neglect to respond to, through the being a basic fucking primate to not be a self-depleting organism on earth and drop the self-incinerating habits, to actually start counting the macros and focus on your nutrition, to focus on developing yourself as a better individual. You have to understand, it's not the action, it's the intent behind it. When you take steps to hit that gym and count the macros and read the books, that's the intention, to grow, to love yourself through action, to actually be the individual you want to be, to actually fulfill the goals that you said you were going to fulfill. The same way you intend to move through life, destroying yourself with the negative habits. I mean, you're watching porn every night. That shit's fucking disgusting. You're a disgusting primate. You can't even control yourself. If you can't control your mind, what the fuck? That shit is weird. And you guys are moving through life very weird, very, inconspicuous. You're hiding behind, that fucking curtain. But some people could see right through it. And so as you remain that, silent, suffering individual, to suffer in silence, to wait till 12 p.m. or a.m. to, do that habit, you need to actually drop the self-incinerating habits you need to develop as an individual. Now, links in the description, self-development community, one-on-one mindset coaching in the description. And you have to understand that if you're not developing, you're regressing. And to be a regressional individual in the life you only live once, to contract but not expand, to neglect the responsibility of expansion, the only path of life is to expand. When we look at the universe, what is it doing? It's expanding. The instruction of life is right in front of you, and the construction of your mind to become a better individual is going to reflect in your reality as soon as you take that first step. But a lot of people don't want to take that first step because they're hiding behind the fear, the apathy, the guilt, the shame, all these, self-inflicted suffering, the choices you make on a daily. You are what you put your time and energy into, and what you put your time and energy into is going to reflect back at you. And, a lot of people have selective hearing, selective, understanding to always put themselves on the pedestal. But you need to look at yourself in the actual truth, the absolute truth of yourself. Are you really that individual you pretend to be? Or is there some hiding behind that psychological mask you use to deflect who the fuck you really are, which is that piece of shit who can't put down a fucking bottle, drop the smoke, and go hit the fucking gym for once? I mean, it's self-evident that if you're not constructing the best you, then you're actively destructing, the individual that you are. And there is no neutrality in life. Like a plant, you're either expanding and growing, or you're contracting and dying. And you can be alive and you can be dying. It's internal. Are you dying internally? I mean, do you even extract anything from life but cheap dopamine? I mean, all you do is extract dopamine from life. Cheap dopamine. Why don't you actually make a move to take a step forward and to multiply your growth and to actually decimate the negative temptations in your life? Now, the only way you can do that is through personal development, and the only solution is evolution. So when we look at everything around us, because, humans are so self-absorbed, they couldn't even look at nature to reflect what life is about. It's about flourishment. It's about growth. It's about empowerment. And if you can't empower yourself to take the next step, bitch, remember who the fuck you're not. And who you're not is the best version of you. And so you're either going to step into that best version of you, or you're just going to remain a low-level piece of shit no one gives a fuck about. Because you either give a fuck about yourself and, we give a fuck about you, or you don't, and we could give a shit, because who the fuck are you anyways? You have to understand that you're either going forward or backward. Now, to not go forward is to remain a low-level piece of shit until you fucking hit that casket. So don't die a bitch. Peace!